We're back now with the latest on the Petito family's announcement to file a $50 million wrongful death lawsuit against the Moab Police Department in Utah. Monday, the lawyers representing the Petitos making that announcement from Salt Lake City, saying that if the Moab officers were properly trained, that Gabby would still be alive today. So today we are getting some legal perspective on what a suit like this could mean for that small police department and how likely it is to go to trial. So joining me now to break this all down, legal analyst Alexis Rosenberg. We appreciate you so much for being here today. Big lawsuit to come out and a major announcement. We've seen the body cam video. The whole world has seen that body cam video. So what's your take on this? $50 million. How likely is something like this to go to trial at this point?
Well, I mean, it's very early on because there's actually not even a complaint yet. It's just the notice that they have to procedurally file because they're suing a governmental entity in Utah, along with other states, require that. So we have to have the complaint. We're going to assume it's going to follow potentially what's in that notice that they have filed. But $50 million is a lot of money. But it's very hard because we have a 22-year-old girl, and some of the damages are, you know, her lost wages, the loss of love and affection she would have given her parents, to put an actual number on that value.
Yeah, I mean, to talk about that, that numerical value, how do they come up with, okay, this is what that value was to us? How did they cap it? 50 million, where did that come from? Is there some sort of cap? I mean, how do we come up with this number in the legal terms? How did they come up with this?
Well, I mean, we did lose a 22-year-old under these circumstances. How did they mathematically come up with that number? I don't think that occurred. I think they did pick a number. But it's important to know, since this is a governmental entity, there are caps on what they could receive. So a jury could potentially come back with a $50 million jury verdict, but that's not what the money they're going to actually receive. So in Utah, it's about just under $600,000 for personal injury, which this is what they're bringing it under. Negligence, wrongful death is per person per occurrence. So they're not going to ever receive the $50 million. I think a lot of the reason, and there has been some statements by the family, that they really want to bring to attention that these domestic violence is an issue and that police departments could really be instrumental in helping to prevent this, stop it, or it escalating.
Just from your perspective legally, the evidence that we do have, the Moab police did that internal review and they even admitted that, you know, there was some training problems there that they need to improve upon. And then we've seen the evidence of the body cam video. So how likely do you believe that the Petito family could win in this suit?
Well, I mean, there are some difficulties because we've got a wrongful death. And so the connection between those actions, it's not just simply that those actions occurred, that we had that, you know, they thought that she was the aggressor and that they really weren't giving much to the eyewitnesses who made the 911 calls. So there are definitely issues, but was the fact that what they did actually could have prevented her death? That is a leap. That is going to be a difficult connection because we've got 2 weeks in between this. We also have, okay, let's say they separated. Let's say that they got her counseling and put her in contact with a domestic violence outreach worker or something. Would that have stopped her from going back? Would it have stopped her from ultimately dying? And that's going to be difficult for them. Now, that being said, under these circumstances, not that a jury is supposed to do this and it could potentially be appealable, a jury may hear all these facts and just be really disgusted, which they're not supposed to do, and award a large verdict.
And just before we wrap today, do you think that this will possibly end in a settlement, or do you think this whole thing will go through a jury and then there will be this whole trial? What are you thinking is going to happen? Just looking maybe at precedent or other you know, cases similar to this.
I mean, the police department should try to enter into a settlement. The question is, though, is that what the family wants? It appears that this lawsuit may be more than just money. It may be to bring to attention domestic violence and really the need for the police to have training and to be taught how to catch this early so to prevent these situations from escalating.
Yeah, and we have seen that the Petito family has set up a foundation, so that could very well be. Alexis Rosenberg, this has been very eye-opening.